Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Blessings to be on the seer. Blessings to be on the listener. Blessings to be on the speaker. Blessings be upon the seer. Blessings be upon the listener. Blessings be upon the speaker. O Brahman, O the sense of self-awareness, O pure consciousness. O Brahman, O the sense of self-awareness, O pure consciousness, lead us in your path, Brahman. O Brahman, as the Lord Krishna or Shri Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, no matter what path you choose, all the path that you have chosen ultimately would come to me. O Brahman, O the limitless, O the boundless, lead us from darkness to light, Brahman. O Brahman, O the limitless, O the boundless, lead us from untrue to true. O Brahman, give us the strength. O Brahman, O Brahman, give us the strength. O Brahman, give us the strength to shed our karma, Brahman. Lead us in the path which has no fear in us. Lead us in the path which has no doubt in our awareness, Brahman. Lead us in the path which has no fragility in our awareness. Lead us in your path, Brahman, the path of truth and the path of wisdom. Let this Atman speak the words of truth and wisdom. Let this Atman do your work, Brahman, the limitless, the eternity,
the cosmos, the Brahman, the sense of self-awareness or pure consciousness. No matter what path we choose, no matter what no matter what path we choose, ultimately all the paths, no matter, no matter what path we choose, ultimately all the paths are leading to Brahman. All the paths are leading to limitless. All the paths are leading to eternity. No matter what path we choose is going in the same direction. We have two options here. Our destination is the same, which is the ultimate liberation, which is the ultimate freedom, which is the path of truth. But we can either conduct this process consciously or we can conduct this process unconsciously. If we conduct the process unconsciously, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of, unfortunately, ambiguity, it takes a lot of confusion. There is less clarity if we conduct the process of carnation, which leads ultimately towards Brahman without awareness. Because through that way, you have to go through, you have to go round in a big circle over and over till you find your way out. It has a lot of bends. Have you ever heard the term bends? It has a lot of bends in it. It has a lot of lessons in it. However, the second way we can we can expedite the process of finding ultimate liberation. We can expedite, we can speed up. I hope you understand the term. I'm sure you do. We can expedite, we can speed up by conducting the process of life or carnation with awareness. You see, we can speed our distance from the being, from the Atman to Brahman. We can expedite that by bringing awareness and conducting the process of carnation through awareness. Either way, we are headed to the same direction. I hope you understand, my listener. I hope you understand, my seer. I hope you understand the meanings behind these words which are coming out my lips, behind these words which are coming out from my mouth. I hope you understand our destination. If you understand, our destination is the same. Our destination is the same for somebody who is conducting the process with awareness. Our destination is the same for somebody who is conducting the process of Jivan, the process of carnation, the process of life with awareness. The destination is the same. And also the one who is conducting the process of life, and also the one who is conducting the process of carnation or the process of Jivan without awareness. You see, there are two type of being walking on the same road. There are two type of beings walking on the same road. The one who is conducting it with awareness, hence the person is joyful, hence the person is happy, hence the person remain joyful in the process. No matter how many bends, no matter how many curves, no matter how many speed bumpers are in the way, the person remains joyful. Please remember, I always tell you to remember the words remember. Please remember something. Um, when we conduct it's all about, when we conduct the process with awareness, it's all about journey. It's not about destination. Do you know the reason why it is not about destination? Because there is no destination. If you are adamant, if you if you are adamant to find destination, the destination or goal of life in any form, the life has many features. The features are limitless. The life has many forms, those forms are limitless. The life has many features, life has many forms. Life is the manifestation of pure awareness, self awareness, or pure consciousness. It has many forms. Basically, it is the manifestation and it is giving birth. Have you heard the term giving birth? I'm sure you have. Uh, it is giving birth left and right. It is giving birth left and right. There is so much births happening. There are so many births happening that it's limitless, it's countless. So the goal of life, no matter what shape, no matter what accumulation life takes, the goal of life is to find, please mind me, and pay attention to what I'm telling you. The goal of life, no matter what shape life takes, is to find the highest level of self awareness, the highest level of consciousness. When you find the highest level of consciousness, that's the goal of life. If you are so adamant to find goal in life, however, life itself has no purpose. The goal of life in human form, the goal of life in human form also to find the highest level of consciousness. It's the prime when you have learned all the lessons. How do you learn the lessons? You have been given tools. When you are surrounded, when you are surrounded by the three-dimensional experience, that what you are right now, when you are surrounded by the three-dimensional experience, it means when you take a human form, you have been given different type of resistance, you have been given different type of you have been given different type of resistance, you have been given different type of, unfortunately, miseries, problems in on the regular basis. It's not the punishment from the sacred, it's not the punishment from the divinity. It is there so you can learn the necessary lessons of life. Have you not heard the Bon Jovi song? There was a Bon Jovi song I remember years and years back, and one of the line in that Bon Jovi song, one of the line in which he says that you have been burnt, baby, lessons learned. One of the line I distinctively remember in which he says, you have been burnt, baby, lessons learned. So that's what we are talking about. Yes, the problems are there, the resistance is there, the atrocities, the barriers are there, the boundaries are there, and it's there for a reason, so we can learn the necessary lessons. When we have learned all the required lessons, basically, when we as life have learned all the required lessons from us, it becomes the part of light. Mind you, this time I said in the end light. When has learned, when life has learned all the lessons, necessary lessons. So the prime is there is not nothing There is nothing left to learn. You understand now the karma is shed. The karma, what you understand, karma is not a curse. Karma is shed when there are no. Karma gives birth to life lessons. If you understand, karma gives birth to life lessons. Karma is not always a curse either, as rapidly connotated, as rapidly interpreted in West, maybe in Britain and US. The connotation of the word has been rapidly changed, but it's not always a curse. Karma gives birth to the three-dimensional experience that you are experiencing right now, right at this second. Do you understand that? Are you aware of it? Karma gives birth to the experience. Karma gives birth to the beings around you. Karma gives birth to, basically, in a way, karma gives birth to life, because karma is the reason that the life is manifesting either in the human form or in any form. When all the karma is shed, life, when all the karma is shed, the Atman, the self, becomes the part of the light. What is light? Have you not heard people talking about they died? Have you not heard people talking about they died for some time? You see, I personally have mentioned my personal experience on my Facebook page very briefly, because most of it is so private that it cannot be mentioned. It's neither good or bad. It's not the matter of morality that it's either good or it's either bad. It's neither good nor bad. But our world, the world we live in inside us, is private, and we live in that world, you see. But I have briefly mentioned my near death experience um, a while back. What is light? You have heard people died and came back clinically dead. Clinically dead means you have no vital signs. You have no vital signs of life in you. What are vital signs? Your pulse is one, the heartbeat, the breathing, the brain activity. All these are. Brain activity usually stop after a few seconds or after a few minutes after the heart gives up. So people clinically died. Trying to sum up, but because a private meditation session are going to be held in a while, but we have some time. So what happens is when there are no vital signs, there is no life. Now the prana, as we say in our yogic culture, now the prana, as we say, now the prana, as we say in our yogic culture, is the life energy. Prana in such a being, prana has left. That's why there is no breathing, there is no heartbeat, there are no vital signs, there is no pulse or any type of brain activity, no breathing. And then they came back to life. Most of them are indicating that they were in the light, they had a counter with the light. Now the question rises here, if you are understanding everything I'm telling you. Now the question rises here, what is light? Light is Now the question rises here, what is light? Light is the first manifestation. Light Mind you, I'm saying light now because I'm using, if you have paid attention to this meditation, if you have paid attention to what I'm telling you during this meditation, you probably have concluded or you have perceived that I'm using two words very rapidly, very frequently. The number one is life and number two is light. When it's spoken, when these two words is spoken, sometimes a person can confuse one with other. Anyway, I'm saying light this time. Light, light. The first manifestation of your self-awareness, the first manifestation of what you essentially are is light. You see, what happens basically, it's basically the whole wisdom is all about from being nothing to manifesting, if you understand. Today I'm giving you a lot of wisdom during this meditation session because, for one, not profoundly, not samadhi, but I am still in a state of meditation. So the words basically just appear on me. I go with the intuition. Intuition is the understanding. Intuition is the understanding that you do is the highest level of knowledge. Remember, we talked about that yesterday. But yesterday, when we talked about, we were precise, we were focused, we were directed in it towards a topic, if you understand, or the day before. Today, it is pure wisdom. It's pouring out. In the end, it would all, it would make sense to you in the end, if you understand what I'm saying to you. So, light is the first manifestation of what you essentially are. Light is the first manifestation of what you essentially are. If you understand what I'm saying to you, what you essentially are, as Lord Krishna or Sri Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, or simply Gita, which is a sacred book, in Hinduism. He mentions that what you essentially are is non-local. You means literally you and me both. It's the same being manifesting in different forms and different shape. There is only one being. You see, this one. Shh. There is only one being. So the same being is manifesting in different forms and different shapes. So, as Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that you are non-local means you exist without any direction, your purest form. We exist without any direction, without any dimension. You see, we, according to the English grammar, if you look at it, we basically indicates plural, more than one, you see. But when I am saying we, I'm saying it about the manifestations are we. The manifestations are plural. But the real me and real you is the one being, which is singular. So I'm using the term we, that what we are essentially, we are non-local. We exist without any dimension. We exist without any direction. We have no color. We have no shape. We have no form. We have no smell. We have none of that. And then this is nothing. You see, when the atheist, excuse me, when the atheists say there is nothing, they are not technically wrong all along, if you understand. But I have my own disagreements with a person who is an atheist. I have my own reasons. But It's perfectly fine. There is no hardship here. It's just that everyone is entitled how they perceive truth. It's simple. You see, we cannot force on people what we believe. That's respect. Respect is the first expression of love. If you ever want to love, you should respect. We should respect. So, as Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, this is our purest form. Non-local, no smell, nothing. But that's nothing. So, as the atheist says that there is nothing, they are not entirely wrong. They are wrong at some place, however, but they are not entirely wrong. You see, yes, there is nothing. Nothing is what? There is nothing but essence. There is nothing but essence. There is nothing but consciousness. There is nothing but self awareness. You see, are you not self aware right now? I hope you're understanding what I'm saying to you. Are you not self aware right now? Of course, you are self aware. In order to perceive anything, in order to know anything, you should exist in the very first place, isn't it? Are you following what I'm saying, my seer? Are you following what I'm saying, my viewer? In order to perceive anything, in order to perceive something, you should exist to begin with. If you didn't exist to begin with, nothing would, not in your experience, it wouldn't. That's why nothing is the sense which has no directions, which has no color, which has no form, which has no smell, which is eternal, which is out of time, which is out, which is out the barriers. Have you heard the term barriers? Which is, which is outside of the barriers of direction, dimension, and time. When it is out of time, it has no beginning, it has no end. It is just, it is. It's just is. So that sense, of course, when it has no physical attributes attached to it, we understand it's nothing. If you understand, isn't it true what I'm saying to you? If there is nothing, what you understand as nothing, look at it in a more profound manner, and if you would know what I'm trying to tell you. Look at it in a more profound manner, and you would know what I'm trying to tell you. What we understand as nothing is something which has no physicality in the very first place. What we understand, because the very physicality defines, the very premise, the very physicality of anything or anyone defines the boundary. Nothing has no boundaries. You see, what we understand is nothing has no attributes that it can be destroyed or it can be felt through sensory perceptions or anything. You see, and if it has no attributes, it cannot be felt through sensory perceptions, then it is nothing. You see, when you look at things at more profound way, when you focus on it, it makes sense to you. It all does. That's what we understand as nothing. Of course, it has no form, it has no color. If it has no color, it has no form, it has no light of in this form. You see, it's just a sense. Pure darkness, pure nothingness is the purest form, the fundamental state. Now, when this sense, which is the sense of self awareness or consciousness, when this sense talks with itself, if you see, this sense is not aware by something. Please keep that in mind. This is all pure wisdom that I am giving you. When this sense is not aware by something. This sense does not need a second. If you see the banner, You see, um, if you see the banner of my Facebook profile, if you see the banner, the cover, if you see the banner of my Facebook profile, over there, there's a picture of me, and it says Advaita. Advaita is a word from Sanskrit, the language. Advaita is a word from Sanskrit. Sanskrit is the language in ancient India. Advaita is taken from that. It means one without a second. You see, if you understand what I'm saying, singular. It means one. It means one without a second. It means there is no second. There is only one being. That's what Advaita is. Meaning of Advaita. The word is being taken from Sanskrit, the language in ancient India. So this sense is not aware by something. This sense is not aware by someone. This sense is self-aware. That's why we say the sense of self-awareness. The sense is self-aware. In its purest form, it can be felt like darkness. It can, in its purest form, it can be felt like nothingness. But when this sense interacts, when this, I hope you're following me, when this sense interacts with itself, not aware by anything, but when the sense interacts with itself, it gives birth to light. Now you understand, light is the first manifestation of your own self. Light is the first manifestation of my own self. You see, because myself and yourself, understand please, myself and yourself is the same self. So light, the people remember not long ago, we said people, and we also said people clinically died and traveled on the other side and came back and told you about the light. And unconditional love was coming out of the light. There was a lot of attraction towards the light. It's just like if you imagine a rubber band, I'm saying, if you imagine a rubber band, a tight rubber band, a super thick, tight rubber band, if you imagine, and you take the rubber band and you pull both sides, you take the rubber band and you pull both sides of rubber band. Now, mind you, the rubber band is thick and tight. It has a lot of resistance, you see, and you pull the rubber band through both of your fingers, and you see the tension between these two fingers is pulling each other, and between there is the rubber band. So through this metaphor, as I'm telling you, through this metaphor of rubber band, I'm trying to tell you this, because these two fingers are pulling towards each other. You see these two fingers, they are pulling each other because of the tightness, the tension between. So this is what happens. When they saw the light, there was attraction, there was a tension to merge in the light. You see, a tension to merge in the light. It is the same tension, but it is intensified. You see, when we are in the physical form and we like somebody, I hope you're following me. Please understand what I'm saying to you. That what we understand as Brahman or pure consciousness, limitless eternity, or in religious circle we understand as God, the Atman, the self or the soul, has all the qualities of the Brahman, you see, or the being has all the qualities of God, all the, what the word I am looking for, all the parameters, all the adject, all the qualities of God. If, no matter what form you take, you one way or another, we all have those from God. Or if you are a spiritual person, you say Brahman. If you are a spiritual person, you say eternity or Brahman. Anyway, that tension between the light, between the manifestation of self awareness and the small sphere or ball of light, the tension is attraction. You feel the same attraction even in the human form. If you fancy somebody, if you think they look nice, it doesn't matter, gender is not important. But I'm saying, if you fancy somebody, if you think they look nice, you have a certain type of attraction towards that person. You feel a certain type of attraction towards that person. It is it is not the matter of discussion here whether you express that to that person or not. That's not what I'm saying. This is a silent attraction. Shh. You see, this is silent. Shh. This is a silent attraction that you feel towards that person. It feels good to look at that person. It feels good to look at that being, you see. And you want to be in their surroundings, you see. You want to communicate with them. You want to be in their company. It's all attraction. These are all the titles we human put, but in reality, it's only phenomena which is happening, and we are coming up with the markers or the titles. You feel the same attraction. You see, it's the same attraction. But once you are out of the physical form, once we are out of the physical form, once we leave the body, now it's the same thing. The tendencies are there. It's just lost we have lost the luxury of the body. If you understand what I'm saying, we have lost the luxury of the body. Everything remains same. So when the light appears after people pass on, one day it would happen to us too, by the way. When the light appears, there is a certain attraction, a tension. Tension is attraction. Remember the rubber band? I gave you the example. Tension is the attraction, is certain attraction, is the same attraction that we feel when we are in the physical form. But when we are not in the physical form, this tension, this attraction intensifies. Everything intensifies when we don't have the luxury of reasoning mind. Please understand that. When we don't have the luxury, when we don't have the luxury of the reasoning mind, everything intensifies. Please know that this is the most wisest thing that you would ever know. That's why keep yourself calm all the time, or try to at least. You see, you can do it. When I can do it, then so can you. So that's why it becomes a part of your tendency. So it intensifies, and when it intensified, it feels like there is a lot of pleasure. It feels like there is a lot of love. It's a sentiment, it's an emotion, it's the attraction. However, not many people end up in the light, you see, because we have to learn the lessons. Remember, I mentioned about the lessons, about the karma and all that. We have to learn the lessons. If we have learned all the lessons, we would end up in light. If we have not learned the lessons, we would carry on. We would take carnations after carnation. We would be reincarnated. That's what I'm saying to you. And at one point, when we have shed all the karma, when we have learned all the lessons, we would become the part of the light, you see. But remember something, as I told you, light is not God. People say God is light. There is a lot of love coming. There is a lot of power coming. The magnitude of the God. I tell you everything through my own experience. You see, being a yogi, a meditator, practice meditation and mysticism. When I go in a deep practice meditation and mysticism, when I go in a deep and profound, when I go in a deep and a profound state of samadhi, you see, when I go in a deep and profound state of samadhi, I see the light. Then I lose the awareness of my own body. I lose the awareness of the thoughts. Here, this is a moment of silence. Here, this is a moment of silence, and it's a moment of pure perception. There are no thoughts here. It's a moment of total understanding everything. When I go I lose the awareness of my body. I also lose the awareness of my mind. All there remains is the sense of self-awareness, that I am self-aware. You see, I know I exist. That's all it remains. So I see the light, if you understand what I'm saying to you. I see the light, but I cannot get into the light. I come back, and then I come out of my profound samadhi or profound state of meditation, you see. But I can see the light, I can feel that traction, and I can feel the love, and I can feel all that, but I cannot become the part of the light yet, because I have also karma attached, you see, but I'm working on it and I'm sharing it. That's why we are here on the face of this planet Earth, that we gotta work on our karma and we gotta shed our karma. The only way we can do it when we are alert enough, if you understand what I'm saying to you. The only way we can do it when we are alert enough, when we are awake enough, you see, then we can shed the karma consciously. And the more karma we shed, the more we get close to the light. And one time we would become the part of the light. God, nobody knows when. You see, all we are concerned with the journey. Remember, in the middle of this conversation, in the middle of this conversation, in the middle of this message, not rather conversation, but the message, the retreat, the message that I'm delivering in this meditative state, I told you that it's very, in the middle of that, I told you that we can only, when we conduct the process of life consciously, we shed the karma, but we have to be alert enough, we have to be awake enough, we have to know and notice what action would accumulate more karma and what action would shed the karma. You see, a very fundamental, or in a nutshell, a very fundamental way to look at the word karma, which is the word also from Sanskrit. Karman is the word. It became karma. It was probably used first in English Oxford Dictionary in 1867 or 65, something like that, if I remember correctly. Anyway, so the word karma means also action. You see, it's a very fundamental meaning of the word karma, action, deed, or that which is done. So when we become alert enough, through the meditation, when we become alert enough through yoga, but mostly through Kriya meditation, when we become alert enough, when we meditate every day, no matter for how long, maybe a brief period of time, but when we make this as a habit, then we become alert enough. I've been doing it forever. Meditation and yoga is not something that I do as a hobby, but it's my lifestyle, if you understand. That's why my purpose of life to bring clarity in human perception. So please remember that. Make some time. If you make some time every day for meditation, you would see miraculous results, that how alert you would become. You would know the cause and you would know the effect of it. You see. ponder on what I said about meditation and alertness alertness of your own mind, of your own awareness, rather.
Namah Shiva. Namah Shiva. Namaskar.